everyone, I'm the Peculiar Pisces and welcome to my channel. Today is Wednesday, August 5th, 2026, and this is Flosstube video number 95. I'm back with my weekly update. I'm really happy because yesterday was the first day of school, so yesterday was my first day of freedom. I got to go back to my regular stitching schedule, so there's not a lot to show today, but I did want to get this video, and I'm back in my normal-ish spot by the window with the good lighting, so you can kind of see everything. Like, it's a little cluttered here with the computer stuff, but, you know, I'm working with the area that I have and the lighting that I have. So, it is August now, so I have switched over all of my projects, which last week I showed you what I would be switching to. I am not going to recap for July because I didn't do any more work since the last time that I filmed, or if I did, I can't remember and I didn't take notes on it. So we're just going to start with August, and August 1st and August 2nd were the weekend. August 3rd was Monday, August 4th was Tuesday, and that brings us to today, August 5th. So on Monday, the kids were still not in school. So I went ahead and spun my wheel, and I had spun project number 4, which is for this month. It is the Dolphins Domain Dimensions Kit, and which I will show that when I get to it. But on Monday, I spun the Dolphins Domain, and then on Tuesday, because the kids went back to school and it was a full day of school and everything, that is when I got back to my normal stitching and I got to touch each project. So from now on, at least until fall break, I will be working on my rotations as usual, unless something crazy comes up, but I'm not planning for anything crazy to be coming up. So I will start with project number 1 for the month of August, is Teresa Wentzler's Woodland Faerie. And this is done on 28 count. What is this? Even weave from Fabric Flair, and this is called Flower Champagne. So I am working on filling in the skin, which is 1/1 down here in this area, to finish off my page before I move on. And then I will probably be moving to the left to finish this page first before moving to the right to finish the third page. So it's not quite like halfway, for the piece was like right in through here. So instead of just doing half the page and doing it in quarters, I decided to go ahead and do this whole page and then just do them page by page. It made more sense for my brain to do it that way. So just stitching down in here. I finished the few stitches that were in the chest area that were missing, and now I'm working mostly on this arm and a little bit on this arm, but most of my progress was down here. So yeah, this one, project 1, let me continue holding it up while I look for it in my notebooks. So this one, I only got to work on it 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 1 second. And that was last night. So I haven't started totaling all of the hours yet, so I'm not quite sure where I am. But the last time that I worked on this, which was back in April, I ended April at 72 hours and 10 minutes. So pretty close to 74 hours, I'd say. Then project 2 is a Blackwork piece, and I am working on the Steady Thread, and this is the 2023 Botanical Stitch Along. And I actually got this in 2023, and I actually found this probably towards the end of 2023. And so I was able to actually download all of the pieces that I needed and get all of the weekly updates, the weekly drops before, before it ended. So I did get this while it was still free, but you can purchase this on the website. But this is the design, the overall design that I'm doing with the leafy flowers and the almost honeycomb pattern in the middle. I'm calling it a honeycomb. From now on, it is a honeycomb, and this is more or less bee themed. So this is 16 count fabric that I hand dyed myself, and I used 2 different colors of yellow and some black to get this fun looking piece. But yesterday I started working on the honeycomb, and I almost have this first center line of the honeycombs done. And because I'm extra, I'm doing all the honeycombs with the drop shadow. So I just have this last honeycomb to finish, and this whole center row will be done, and then everything else will go from there. So my plan is to finish the honeycombs first, get those all done and over with, and then I will move on to the leaves that surround the honeycomb. Okay, so project 2, I put in 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 32 seconds, and this was the first time that I touched it. So I only have 1 hour and 28 minutes on the clock for this one. But it seems to go pretty fast, so that's not too bad. And then project 3 is Heaven and Earth Designs, and the artist is Amy Brown, and this is called Risqué, and this is the no background version. And I'm doing this on 22 count Hardinger that I hand dyed myself, and when I dyed it, I sort of tried to make the background look like the background here, because I did not want to have to try to stitch that. And I'm doing a blue conversion. I forget about that. So I'm doing a blue conversion. This is what I printed out of Pattern Keeper after I made all of my changes. So from red to blue. And here, I know it's a hot mess. There's lots of parking going on. But here is my progress. So I am almost finished with this row. I think I have like maybe 10 stitches before this row is finished, and then I'll just jump back over here and finish. So she's getting closer and closer to getting halfway done. So for project 3, I put in 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 11 seconds. And when I put that time in, I got to put in 197 stitches in. And I am at 25.55%. So I am just a little over a quarter. And that's because like the middle was like in here. So I just brought it over to finish out the page. So yeah, she's coming along. Okay, and then project 4. This is the one that I worked on Monday when I spun the wheel, and then yesterday got to do as normal. So I am working on the Dimensions kit. This is called the Dolphins Domain. I'm using the provided kit fabric, and I did not dye it or make any changes to it. I just am leaving it as it is. And here is my progress. I'm just sort of working up this edge and also filling in the dolphin as I switch back and forth between a background color and a foreground color. But up here there are several gaps which the fabric is showing through. So yeah, this one's also coming along. So like I said, I got to work on this Monday and Tuesday. And so like I said, I haven't added up the hours yet, but Monday I got to put in 1 hour and 22 minutes, and then yesterday I got to put in the normal 40 to 45 minutes. This is the one that goes in my car, and I work on this while I'm waiting for the kids to get out of school. Both of the kids are now old enough that they come to me. It used to be the older one would go pick up the younger one in her elementary classes and then bring her back to my car. But now the older one is old enough, or the younger one is old enough that she can look both ways and cross the street, and she can walk down the hill to me by herself. So this is what's in my car, and this is what I'm working on waiting for the oldest to get out of middle school, and then we drive over to the youngest, and then we wait for her to walk down. So it's about 40 to 45 minutes that I get to work on it. So yeah, so there's my progress. Okay, so that is it for my 4 main projects. And this week I did get to work on temperature projects. And so I worked on temperature projects on July 30th and the 31st, and then August 3rd and August 4th. So, excuse me, I have a little hiccup. So on the 30th, the temperature, okay, let me back up. If you don't know what the temperature projects are, several other floss tubers are doing this thing where they use the weather to determine what they're going to work on. And because I have a lot of projects, I thought that was a pretty good idea on how to figure out what to work on each day, because I have so many different projects going at any given time that it gets a little overwhelming. So I labeled 10 projects, 0 through 9, and I for each day that I'm going to be able to work on them. And the second digit for the weather is what will determine which project I work on. And so of those projects, I only got to work on 3 different ones of the 4 days that I worked, because 2 days the same number got called. And so on the 30th, it was 87 degrees. On the 31st, it was 82 degrees. On the 3rd, it was 95 degrees. And then on the 4th, it was 75 degrees. So the 7 digit correlates to the purple baby blanket that I have been crocheting. This is a fillet crochet. I purchased this as an entire kit from Mary Maxim several years ago. It is called the Bashful Teddy Blanket from Mary Maxim. It did come in, I think, 4 different color options. It was like this mint green, baby blue, baby pink, and purple, I think, something like that. I think those were the 4 colors. Maybe it was just 2 colors, but one of the colors that it got was purple, and so that is the kit that I chose to do. So this is my pattern, so I'm not going to show it really, really, really close, but this is what the teddy bear is going to look like. And as you can see, some highlighted areas, I'm this far into it. So I've got the bottom part of the legs, and I'm just starting into the belly. Oh. Okay, so I know it's hard to see what's going on in the pattern, but that's that you can see is the legs. So yeah, it's coming along. It's coming along. I am now on my second skein of yarn for it. Okay, and then on the 31st, it was 82 degrees, and the two, oh, all my temperatures are in Fahrenheit, so just so you know. So 82 degrees was the purple landscape printed cross stitch. I found it. I found the sticker. It was actually hiding downstairs in the basement. So this is what it's going to look like when it is finished. And I am just along this left side. So this one's a big, huge one that I will probably never finish in my life. But here it is, and I was working. So I'm in the second column over, coming down. And so over here is where I've been working and bringing it down. Okay, and then here it is from the back, so you can see it just a tad better without all of the distractions from the front. Okay, and then on the 3rd and the 4th, it was 95 degrees and 75 degrees. And so the 5 goes with monk's cloth. So monk's cloth, Swedish weaving, Huck weaving. They're all three the names for this technique in which to make designs. I don't know why it's called three different things, but it is all the same technique. So this specifically is monk's cloth diamond afghans, and I am working on this one right down here, and it is called Precious Gem. Now it called for black fabric, and I didn't have the black fabric on hand, but I did have a navy blue, and so it looks just as good as this is happening. But what did I want to say about this? I don't remember, but I've been working on this. And let me go ahead and scoot back a little bit. Okay. All right. So here is where I am. So I don't know, a couple months ago, I finished the top half, which I've now rotated and is the bottom. And I am mirroring the middle part. And so I finished up the couple of designs here, and I have started into the diamonds. So we're at least half. So the way that you do it, you basically you split it into 4 quarters, and you work on it that way. But this is going to be a nice long, beautiful blanket. So I cannot wait until this is finally done. But it's coming along. The center half on the quarter that I'm working on is done, and working in the diamonds. Then it's the fun part of the bottom. And then I get to mirror exactly what I've been doing. Okay, so that is, oh, ouch, I hit my knee. That is my weekly progress. Not that much progress has been made since the beginning of the month was just a few days ago, and I only have a little bit of work, but that is my weekly progress. And the couple of temperature projects that I got to work on in the past week. So, yeah, that's it. Nice, short-ish video, not overly long. So I will see everyone next week when there will be much more progress to be shown on my projects. And I will have all of the times added up. So that's it. I will see everyone next week. Bye for now.